when I talk about racism in the Asian community, I usually talk about it when they're racist towards black people. And while they can very much be racist towards them, they're also very much racist towards Hispanics and Mexicans. And that's what I want to cover today. So I'll be interviewing in today's episode a Mexican American who lives in Japan. He's going to give me his take on what it's like to be in the country and his overall experiences with Asians and Asian Americans. So I hope you enjoy.
Granddad never mentioned that there were men as dark as this. Wow, look at that nose. He's just like a pig. He's a monster!
In today's episode, I'm joined by Augustine Renteria, who is a Mexican American that lives in Japan and goes by the name The Mexican Samurai on YouTube. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
My first question for you is, what made you end up in Japan in the first place?
Okay, well, my mother, is Japanese. Mm-hmm. So growing up in LA, I mean, she never really taught us anything about Japan or the culture in depth, really. You know, the language was a no-go because it was like, whenever we'd ask her to teach us how to speak Japanese, she'd be like, you know, you don't speak Japanese anywhere but Japan. Are you planning to go to Japan? No. All right, well, you don't need to concentrate in Japan. Concentrate on speaking English. All right. So here I am. I'm out of school. I'm working. I pretty much did everything I wanted to do. Now I'm bored. Now what's next? So I want to learn my mother's native language, right? So I tell my family, I said, well, you know, I found this program where you can go to Japan and assist Japanese English teachers there and get paid and study at the same time. So I'm going to go to Japan, learn how to speak Japanese in a year, and then come back fluent. Okay, now, when growing up in my family, it was a big no-no for us to tell our parents that we had plans to do something. You know, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. My parents would always say, don't tell me, show me. You know, so we'd have to come to my parents like, this is what I'm doing. I got a ticket in my hand. I'm going next month. So that's basically what I did. So I told my family I'm going to Japan for a year, and they were like, yeah, whatever. You'll be back in 3 months. And to be honest, I didn't think it was going to be that bad because I came over before I decided to move over. I came over, you know, just to check it out. And Japan was really great. The people were really cool, and the food was wonderful. This and that. I was full on tourist status, right? And so once I got past that and I actually started to live here, I started to see the differences in the culture. One thing I had going against me was I couldn't speak the language. I couldn't speak a lick of Japanese, right? So if you can't communicate with people, okay, language has nothing to do with it. But if you are unable to communicate your feelings to other people, I mean, it's extremely stressful. So that was the type of situation I was in. So, but I had told my parents, I told everybody that I'm coming out here to learn Japanese. So I started to hit the books and started learning the language. A year comes, and it's time for me to go back. I still can't speak Japanese. So it's like, I got to stay here longer. And a year turned into two turned into 3. And over the course of those 3 years, I fell in love with the job that I do, teaching. Not assisting, but teaching. And I found that I have a knack for it. I'm pretty good at what I do. So I decided I wanted to see more of it. I wanted to do more of it. And I've been here for 27 years. I've been here for half my life already.
What has your experience been like as a Mexican American? Do you feel like people treat you differently in Japan because you're Mexican? Is it just overall not a big deal?
Okay, now, if I met people who have been to LA, who have been introduced or are going to be exposed, have some type of experiences around Mexican Americans in America, I would get some funny looks, and what are you doing out here, and stuff like that. But this is like way back when, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to run into some ignorant people here and there, but they weren't Japanese though.
Mm.
They were Caucasians. They were white. They're white people from America. So I was getting the same thing here that I was getting over there. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of followed me over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it wasn't really the Japanese people because they have no idea what it is to be Chicano. They have no idea what it is to be Mexican American or Mexican, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like the one thing that really messed with them was when I introduced myself as an American. Okay, now see, living in America, we never have to introduce ourselves as American. Mm-hmm. Okay, hey, I'm American. You never have to say that. Mm-hmm. Everybody just knows it. What nationality are you? Yeah, okay, and then you give your ethnic background. Okay, I understand that. But being an American, I never had to say that I was American until I came out here, right? Mm-hmm. And then so when I say I'm American, it wasn't welcomed by the Japanese people because they were under this misconception that all Americans were blonde hair and blue eyes. And they're like, wait, you're American, but you don't have blonde hair and you don't have blue eyes. And I'm like, well, why would you think that all Americans are blonde hair and blue? Oh, okay, I got it. Television. I got it. Okay, you got your Brad Pitt, All right, I got it. Okay. So they're getting the stereotypes on TV. And I'm like, not all Americans are like that. So I started calling myself Chicano. And then they would say, well, what is it, Chicano? I'm saying that's American, Mexican American. We have our own culture. And that's how I'd have to come off. And plus, I had to pretty much separate myself from other Americans. Because, dude, I got to tell you, the first 3 major jobs that I ever got out here, I got my jobs because of some lazy-ass white dudes over out here doing something stupid. And they lost their job, and I picked their job up. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I can't call myself an American anymore because they just don't get it. People just not getting it. So I started calling myself Chicano. I'm Chicano. I'm Mexican American. Mm-hmm. And that's how I related myself with everybody else. That's how I introduced myself. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of questions regarding Chicanos. I said, well, we're Mexican Americans. We're Mexican, but we're also American. We're more American than anything else. And we have our own culture. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I started the conversation off. So they really didn't know. I had to educate a lot of people what that is. And the one thing that used to make me angry about the Japanese people when I came out here, it doesn't make me angry anymore because I take it as a compliment. I know it's a compliment. But back then, dude, I'm talking like this is 25, 26 years ago, right? And I was still under a lot of stress. The culture was still messing with me. The language was still hard and this and that. So I had my own problems. But now it's like, I'm the man. I do my own thing, I got it better than others. I got it better than most, because I worked my ass. But me being a Mexican American here, it was like, I had so many people just say to me, wow, Tino, you work so hard. Tino, you do the job of 2 people. You're so Japanese. I'm like, pause, please, because I have no idea what it is to be Japanese. Why would you say because I work hard, because I'm here early and I go home late? Why would you say that's Japanese? That's not Japanese. That's me being me. That's the kind of person I grew up to be. That's the person I am. So I got really defensive about that. Why can't I be Tino? Why can't I be Mexican American Tino? Why I gotta be Japanese?
They associate you with being Japanese because you had positive qualities instead of you just being a person that had positive qualities.
Yeah.
But
they came at me wrong, and I was at that particular time I was just angry about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really didn't. I didn't understand why they would compliment me that way until later on. Okay, well, that's how Japanese people are. They don't know who I am. They don't know where I'm coming, where I'm from. They don't know my background. So I got to educate these people. I got to tell them. I said, you know what? Well, you know what? I don't know what it is to be Japanese, but I can tell you that the Mexican Americans, we work hard. We're hard workers. And this is how we are. This is how my people are. This is how my culture is. And they're like, wow, okay. We're basically the same then. I said, yes, indeed. That's right. So I don't take offense to that anymore when people say, you're very Japanese when you do this and that. No, well, thank you very much, and just leave it as that, you know.
There's a stereotype that you kind of hinted on before about Asians like having affinity for white people, and other Asians as well. In terms of dating, do you feel like the goals that you may have pursued skewed more towards dating other Japanese or white people? Do you feel like it was difficult for you?
I met this girl one day, and she was talking about foreigners who come over to Japan, and then all of a sudden they're like, they got game. They come over to Japan, it's like, you know, they got women left and right, and they can be like the weirdest looking dudes in the world, and she used to call them literally 010s, and I'm like, what is a 010? A 010 is their 0 wherever they came from, but they're 10 when they come over to Japan. And see, that works for a lot of foreigners too. Myself, I got game, dude. I'm sorry, but it's like I can talk to anybody. And I had that before I came to Japan. So I did not like the girls who would just attach themselves to me because I'm a foreigner. Okay, because I'm from America, they would come, oh, please, I want to get to know you better. I want to know everything. I want to be inside you. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not that kind of dude. I'm not the dude you're looking for. You're looking for that dude over there. That's not me. I'm sorry. Because you know what? I feel that a dude has to work for the type of girl that he wants. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hear me? So you have to, if you get something like just because of the way you look, I mean, I don't know, dude, it's not really worth it. And I put in work, and I always have been that way, you know. Mm-hmm. And it's like when I came out here, if it was too easy, it wasn't worth anything to me. So I really didn't. I stay away from those type of girls. And it was so easy, dude. It's so easy to get these Japanese girls out here, right? But it was like, for me, it was kind of a turnoff because they would come on so strong. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not the type of dude that they're going to take home. They're not going to take me home and meet their family, okay? But they want to kick back with me. They want to hang out with me, you know? And they want to experience whatever I have to offer. But they're not going to take me home. And that's the part that I don't like. If I'm not that dude, you know, if I'm not the dude where you can introduce me to your friends and your mom and your dad, I can't go and tell them that I'm going out with you. I'm taking you out tonight. If I gotta pick you up like fucking halfway down the street, you know, I can't come to your door, knock on the door. I don't wanna mess with you.
Yeah,
you're not the person for me. And sad to say, maybe 80% of the girls that I've met out here when I first came out here were like that. I'd have to meet them somewhere. And if I took them home, I couldn't drop them off at their door. I'd have to drop them down like a couple houses down. Mm-hmm. You see? So it was like, I don't know. This is not really me. This is not what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. It's not what I'm looking for in a girl. I've never done it like this. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't see that just because I'm in Japan, I have to change, you know? So, 15 years ago, I met my wife. We've been together ever since, you know? Mm-hmm. She had no introductions. She had no interest in Americans whatsoever, you know? She didn't know what it was to be a Mexican American. She didn't know about the food. She didn't know about the culture. But I introduced her to it, you know? I had no idea, you know? She was surprised about a lot of stuff, you know? You're Mexican, you're American, but you're not. I'm like, Yeah, I mean, I'm cultured. I come from a lot. I have a lot of interesting things in my culture. Okay, and regarding my earth, the way I talk to people, the way I address people, the way I represent myself, the way my work ethics. I mean, this is all because I'm Mexican American. This is all because of where I come from. This is the way I was raised. This is how I talk to people, and it's like, damn, you're a lot different from any other person I've ever met before, and that's the good thing about being who you are, dude. The geography has nothing to do with it, because you have to understand that you are bringing something that a lot of people don't know about. If you're that stereotype American dude that who can play basketball, or who can sing well, or whatever your stereotype is, if you come over and you play that card, I mean, it's cool and all. It's going to get you to certain places, but I mean, there's no value in that,
Mm-hmm.
Sit somebody down and have a conversation with them, educate them, and type of what kind of person you are, and it's like they value you more than that,
Mm-hmm.
from the image that they have of you, and it's like Japanese people, they have no idea what it is to be Chicano. They have no idea what it is to be Mexican American, and that worked from a benefit because it's like, I don't know, we get this bad rap that we're all cholos, and I got tattoos and I dress the way I do. It doesn't mean that I'm a cholo. It just means that I'm just comfortable in that type of attire.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel it's necessary for me to show people that I can dress the way I dress. And I get a lot of people saying that, damn dude, you're in class and you're wearing jerseys and you got Jordans on, you wear you got the baseball cap on and this, that, and you're teaching. If this was my school, I'd be fired. I couldn't do that. And I'm like, fool, that's your school though. This is my school. I don't work for anybody else. Mm-hmm. And see, that's what it is, man. If you work hard, if you stay true to who you are, I mean, you can create a life for yourself like that, And that's basically, how when I actually decided that I wanted to stay here and I'm going to make this work, I promised myself I'm always going to be the person that I am. Hmm. And the way I look has nothing to do with it, But I don't go out and just show people my tattoos or anything like that. You can't do that because it's not welcome here. Yeah. I can't go to onsens. I can't go to the hot springs here. They won't let me in because of my tattoos. Hmm. I can't go to public pools. I can't go to those places. If I go outside, man, I got these right here. I got these sleeves that I cover my tattoos. And the reason why is because when in Rome, do as the Romans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, you gotta abide by the rules, and it's not that they don't know. It's just that they don't want to know. They don't know that back in way back when the Japanese people actually used to have tattoos on their faces. It was something that was fashionable. And then the Chinese said, we use that to brand people for doing bad stuff, for prisoners. And the Japanese people, oh damn, well, we need to start doing that too. And that's where all the negativity started coming about the tattoos, because everybody was getting branded, and you got all of these criminals who are doing bad stuff, and they have these brands on them. How am I going to cover this up? And they started to put these extravagant tattoos on, right? Mm-hmm. So still in Japanese society, man, it's not welcomed. And that's all right, because it's like, that's the way they are. You just have to understand that. I'm not going to go to the gym and just wear a T-shirt, and if they're going to come to, excuse me, sir, you got to leave. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. I'm going to put a long sleeve on so I don't have to deal with that bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Because it's this educating yourself to know how they are in that particular country or that region where they are. Yeah. But I'm at home, I can dress like this, dude. I can wear whatever I want. I'm at home. But when I step outside, dude, I put these on. I cover up because it's like, you know what? It's better to do it and just ignore the fact that people are going to stereotype you. They're going to put a brand on you. Yeah. And I don't want people to put a brand on you, dude, because they don't know me. Yeah. But once they start to know me and start talking to me, and then they'll see a little bit of my tat right here, and they'll be, oh, you got tattoos. That's cool. See, I changed their perspective by allowing them to understand the person that I am has nothing to do with what they see on the outside.
It's a good point, and I think that's the best way to handle it if you feel like you're at a disadvantage in a foreign country in general. But I would say that, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, from my perspective, there is somewhat of a stereotype, and I am careful when I'm around Asian people because I feel like there's already that negative image. But I've never been to Japan. I've only been to China. So I can't say that that's what it's like in Japan. I can just say that I feel as though I need sometimes to kind of oversell myself to be accepted, and then I could do some of the things that they would consider to be a little bit risque, like like you said, wearing a fitted baseball cap. But
let me this. It's better for me here than it is there.
With Americans or Asians?
For me as a Chicano, for me as a Mexican American,
Okay.
growing up in LA, being around other Asians in LA, being stereotyped, okay, before they even get to know me at all, they already put this brown in me. Oh, here comes the cholo. Look at the cholo. There's a cholo coming. I'll give you a good example. I took Roman to visit they have a museum in Little Tokyo in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
And I took Roman and my wife to this museum which is dedicated to the Japanese Americans after World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're walking in, and my son and I, we speak English together. We're speaking English, and it's like the girl at the lady at the information desk. She's like, "Can you just telling her, I do?" Oh my goodness, what the cholo's doing? Oh my goodness, look, we got a cholo coming, and you can just see in her face. And I asked her in English, "Excuse me, ma'am, we're looking for access to the museum. Could you tell us what floor the museum is on?" And she was like, "Oh, you want to go to the museum?" I was like, "Yeah, I brought my son, so we can check out the museum." Okay, well, and then my son in fluent Japanese, he says, "Dad, before we go to the museum, can I get something to drink?" And then in Japanese, I shoot right back, and I'm like, "Dude, let's go to the museum right quick. Let's just walk through, and then we'll go get something to drink afterwards. How's that sound?" And he's like, "All right." And we're saying this all in Japanese, right? The lady's face just changed totally. First, here it is with Cholo. Okay, I'm Cholo right there, right? And then when I'm spitting Japanese now, and she's like, "What the heck? Oh, you want to go to the museum? Okay, well the museum." I'm like, dude, she went from black to pink, okay, within seconds. And that's how it is over there, dude. That's how it is over there. Wherever I go, I'm not from Japan. I'm not the Mexican samurai from Japan, dude. I'm Chino the Cholo. I'm Chino the Mexican, the Mexican dirtbag who lives in LA. And it's like I get that when I'm there, but I don't get it when I'm here. Because they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I go back home, I understand getting carded when you pay with your credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I put my credit, and I've been here for so long. I use an international driver's license issued by the Japanese government, right? So that's my form of ID when I go home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't carry my passport, but I carry that as ID. And then so when I put that gold card out, boom, and it's like, okay, when I see them, damn, can we see some ID? And I'm like, yeah, here you go. And they're like, you're from Japan? Yeah, that's what it says. Speak some Japanese. Yeah. Well, say something in Japanese.
Yeah.
They don't believe me. You can't look like this and be from Japan.
Yeah.
And it just blows the mind of it. And it's like, dude, it's like, and then I say something in Japanese. They're like, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought you were from here. I am from here. But it's just that I have an international driver's license issued from, and it just blows people's mind.
Yeah.
It's like, I had no idea. Damn. I said, well, see, you don't know that because you don't ask. You don't know me. But when I'm here, dude, I put on my credit card, that's it. No ID, nothing. Nothing.
Do you feel like you mentioned that it's negative somewhat. Do you feel like there is a negative perception overall from the Asian American community about Mexican Americans? And if so, why is that the case?
Absolutely. Personally, yes, I do. It's always been that way. Basically, where we live, okay, Um, a lot of the neighborhoods that we lived. I lived in Inglewood, which is predominantly Mexican and black.
Mhm.
Okay, there are a lot of gangs there, a lot of gang activities and whatnot. But I mean, not everybody's a gangster who lives there,
Mhm.
But it's like we have this image, and well, people would openly say, well, why don't you try to break the image? Why would I want to try to break the image? Who put this image on us? Who am I to break an image I have nothing to do with?
Mhm.
I'm trying to change your perspective of me as a person. I can't change, something that you're gonna put on everybody here. That's your ignorance, not mine.
Mhm.
I want to change your mind about who I am and what kind of person I am. That's the starting point.
Mhm.
And if you get to know me and you say, oh, he's a stand-up guy. He's not the type of guy that I thought everybody was. I thought everybody was like that, but no, it's not like that. But see, I'm old, dude. I'm old. I grew up in the '60s and '70s, and that was civil rights movement started back in those days. So I've had my share. I ask my children all the time. I especially my daughter. Have you ever had a situation where you had to scream racism? In LA, no, not really. And I thank God for that. We have stereotypes. A lot of people, they view us as this and that, but it's like, it's just ignorance. People just don't know any better.
Mhm.
But once you start having a conversation with somebody, and you start to change their perspective of you, it'll start changing the perspective of everybody in the community.
Mhm.
But I'm there every once twice a year.
Mhm.
And I love being home, but when I'm home, dude, I miss Japan. When I'm here, I miss home. I miss LA. Okay, but when I'm in LA, to be honest with you, I miss Japan as well.
Each has its positives and its negatives. Yeah.
And that's life, dude. That's life. There is no paradise. There is no perfect place.
Yeah.
That's the only perfect place for the paradise that you have is one that you make for yourself.
Mm.
Okay, and if you're comfortable in life, and you have to understand that you have to recognize that you made that for yourself. You influence people around you to understand that, hey, this is the type of person that you are, and judge me for my deeds, judge me for what I do and who I am, and not what I look like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I dress. That's a lot. That has a lot to do with the way I dress when I'm teaching, because a lot of other teachers that say, oh, I can never do that because this is not yours. This is mine. I can do what I want when I'm here. You work for somebody. I don't. This is me.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it. You can't. But just to understand that, just because I look the way I do, okay, this has a lot to do with me being the best of what I'm doing. It's because I'm real with everything that I do. I'm honest with myself. And I know there's stereotypes out there. I know there are people who think that Mexican Americans is this and that, but we're not. We're not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're much, much more than that, man. And for the Japanese people to say, "Oh, wow, you're just like us," that's a big compliment. We're talking about one of the hardest working people on the planet. And for me to be in that same group, for them to look at me and say, "Damn, you're like us." I'm not like you, but I'm Mexican American, and you guys are like us. So we're the same. And that puts a very good feeling in my chest.
Over the years, do you think that your experiences as a Mexican American in Japan have gotten better or worse?
Nope. You know what? The first 5 years, that's it. It was done.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it was done. Because times have changed since when I came back in the '90s, man. Japan has changed.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of diversity here now. You don't get that. You don't get that stereotype with all Americans and Caucasians. You don't get that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness. But it's like it wasn't like that. It's going to be a lot better for you guys who come over than it was for people who came over when I was here. Mm-hmm. When I first came out here, it's a lot better for you guys now. Because thank goodness for that, because we get the internet. There's more exposure to the outside world. And it wasn't like that. There was no internet when I came out here. Mm-hmm. So it's like, no, no, no. I don't deal with that anymore. The only animosity toward my people are from fellow Americans, and they had some type of experience being around Mexican Americans. And I don't know, where they live or what have you, but you can see in their eye that you're Mexican. Oh wow, what are you doing? I get it from Chicanos, man. I get it from Mexican Americans. They'll be like, dude, what are you doing out there? I freak everybody out. But I don't get that racist thing anymore. I get because of the simple fact that where I am, and I'm pretty well known where I'm at right now. So it's like everybody knows who I am. So it's like, nah, I don't get that anymore. But if they were to see my tattoos, I would not be Mexican, dude. I would be a gangster. I would be Yakuza before I'm Chicano. Before being a cholo, they would tell me that Yakuza dude. He looks kind of shady. He must be in some type of Yakuza group or affiliated with the Yakuza. But they would not call me a cholo because they have no idea what a cholo is.
What advice would you give to somebody who is Mexican or Mexican American about Japan and what to do if they wanted to come to Japan?
Come out here. Don't be afraid of shit. Come out here. I don't care if it's Japan, China. I don't care where you go. Come out, go out, okay, and be who you are. Represent your family. Represent who you are. Represent your people, and understand that people are not going to judge you here the way they do there. They don't know you. They don't know what it's like to be who you are. So you, from the get-go, you got to introduce yourself. You got to represent yourself as being the stand-up individual you are, and have pride in what you do, and know that if a door is shut in your face, it's not because of who you are and the way you look. I've had tons of doors shut in my face, but it was good because it just made me stronger. Had nothing to do with what I looked like, Well, sometimes it did, but I wasn't American enough, or Caucasian, but that's cool. But you see, you have to understand that that's what the world is like. But don't let that get you down. I hear a lot of fellow Chicanos who are out here. Sometimes I talk with them and they're like, dude, I can't get a job. Is it because of the way I look? It's because it has nothing to do with that, dude. It's like, how are you looking for jobs out there? What are you doing? Oh, I'm sending resumes. Why the hell are you sending shit, dude? Go to companies, dude. Knock on the door. Let them see who you are. Why are you sending shit? See, that's the problem with your generation, man. You young dudes out here now, fucking email shit all the time. It's like, for me, no, man. We need to go to the door. Knock on doors, hand it to them. Hey, this is who I am. You guys ever looking for a job? Are you ever looking for a teacher? You looking for somebody? Give me a call. My name's right on the top there. My number's right next to it. Thank you for your time. I would walk into these schools. I would walk into facilities and let them see who I am. Speak to them. But see, there's a lot of young people now, they email shit. They send resumes out. Dude, you need to be going out and talk to people. And it always worked out. Because I would leave and I would leave my resume, I would leave my name and number and be like, you know what? You don't know this right now, but you're gonna call me. And that would always stick in their head. That would always stick in their head like, damn, who is this dude? Why is he so confident? Because I know I can do more for you than what you can do for me. Just give me the opportunity. And that's how I was every place that I went to. And I would always get called back. Always. But I get doors slammed in my face. But if anybody who's looking to come out here, don't be afraid to come out here. Come out here and represent. Be who you are. And have pride in that, man. And don't get discouraged by doors being slammed in your face. It just makes you better.